Hello you guys, it's Charlotte. Welcome back to the vlog. Welcome to another monthly reset. This time we are getting reset for June, and let me tell you guys, I have never needed a monthly reset as badly as I need this one. Obviously, we are back in Maine. We are back in my hometown, my childhood bedroom. This is actually the room that started it all. A lot of you guys are new here and you've never seen this room before, so welcome to my room. It's incredibly messy right now, which is one of the reasons I need a reset, but I moved out of my Michigan apartment. I just posted my move out vlog earlier in the week, so if you haven't seen that, I will link it in the cards in one of the corners. I can never remember which one, but I will link that video in the cards so you can go watch that. We moved completely out of my favorite apartment that I've lived in so far, and it was actually so sad. But now we are back home in Maine. This is actually the first video that you guys are going to see back here in the main room, so welcome home. If y'all are new here, my name is Charlotte. I am a productivity and lifestyle vlogger. I just graduated college from the University of Michigan back in April, and we are kind of tackling the like pre-big girl world this summer. I'm applying for jobs, looking for apartments, looking for a new place to move, sort of like getting my big girl life started. And I always kind of just refer to like life after college as my big girl life. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, join the family, come along with me as I figure out what is going on in the big girl world. But first things first, we're going to do this monthly reset vlog. It is so desperately needed. I can't even explain to you guys. Like, okay, I'm gonna show you it later, so I guess there's no reason for me not to show it to you now, but the state of my room, it's never been worse. I'm embarrassed. I really am. I can't live like this. So in this vlog, we are going to be doing, it's basically going to be two parts. This is typically how I do my reset vlogs. We have part one, which is like the physical portion of the reset. That is where I get my actual physical space in order, clean my room, get everything organized, and sort of just like officially get settled here, which sounds so stupid because I've been here for almost 3 weeks at this point and I really just don't feel settled yet. So that will be the physical reset portion. And then the second half of the video is going to be more of like the mental, emotional reset portion. That is where we update my Notion. We go over my goals for the previous month and my new goals for the upcoming month. Occasionally I work on my bullet journal. We go over my favorite books for May and the books that I'm hoping to read for June. I really don't know how long this vlog is going to be. I'm anticipating it being very long because, as we just discovered, there's quite a lot of work to do around here. So I'm really excited to bring you guys along. Grab a snack, grab a water, and let's get reset.
I would do anything just to get you back again. I would do anything at all. I know I'm not innocent. You deserve a better man. But let me just hold your hand once more. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna take you out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Show you what I'm all about. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. There's a new part of me, a part I want you to see. You haven't seen the best of me, I know. You can try to fool yourself, like you love somebody else, but you and him will never feel the way we do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna take you out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Show you what I'm all about. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head.
Okay guys, the room is totally clean. It feels so good. You would not believe. You wouldn't even believe. It's been so messy for so long. Like literally the entire time that I've been home, it's been so messy, and it is so nice to have it clean, to have it organized. I feel like a new person. Okay, first things first, before we start out with anything else, I cut my hair. It's super short. It's like collarbone length. I vlogged the entire thing. It's gonna be in a week in my life vlog that's coming up. I think it'll be my second video after this one, so we'll have this one. There's gonna be a weekend in my life and then a week in my life, and the week is where I get my hair cut. It's always funny with the reset vlogs because sometimes I film the reset vlog after I filmed other content, but it gets posted beforehand. So the timeline's a little weird, but I did cut my hair. I just wanted to address that right off the bat. And now it's time for kind of like the mental, emotional reset portion of the vlog. This part is always really fun because I get to update like my Notion and my bullet journal and all that good stuff. So we're going to start with my Notion. So this is my Notion spread for May. This is what we had for the entire previous month, just kind of like a pink, bright, springy sort of theme. And then if we scroll down, I only set 3 goals for May this month. I ended up setting fewer goals for May because it was starting to feel like I was setting goals just for the sake of setting goals, and like the goals that I was setting for myself earlier in the year like weren't actually helping me like live a life that I was excited to live. That was just kind of like filler goals, so I would feel like I had enough goals. So for May, I completely got rid of that idea and I just did 3 little goals for myself. They were to apply to 5 jobs, contribute $300 to my retirement account, and read 3 books. And I actually achieved all of these goals, which is super exciting. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm applying to a bunch of different jobs this summer. I'm looking for like my big girl job to kind of go out and enter the workforce. I applied to 4 jobs in one day, like last night or the night before. So I was really good about applying for jobs this past month in May. Contributing $300 to my Roth IRA, that's my retirement account, I did it this afternoon. For me, I'm filming this is the last day of May, so slay. And finally, I wanted to read 3 books, and we will talk about the books that I read in May and the books that I want to read in June in the segment after we finish setting up my Notion. But we had some good books in May, I gotta say. May was a good month for books. So that was the setup for May. Now we're gonna head over to Pinterest and find a bunch of photos for June, and then we are going to update my Notion banner, all of the photos and emojis that I'm using, and then also set some new goals for myself for the brand new month. Okay, the Notion is all updated for June. It looks so good. I'm really happy with it. It's like a very summery kind of vibe. I went for a blue theme. I've definitely been leaning heavy into the like pinks and yellows recently, so I wanted to do something totally different for June, and we went a little more like blue coastal, which just suits June so well in my mind. And then if we scroll down, we can see the goals that I set for June. So we have 8 goals in total for June. I'm still keeping with the like more minimalistic theme, even though 8 kind of feels like a lot, but I've had more in the past. Like I think at one point I got like 10 plus goals for one month, and that felt like too much. So I definitely want to keep it like scaled back a little bit. But I think in May I went too far the other way where I didn't set enough goals for myself, and I was kind of just like flailing the entire month. Like I really didn't feel structured. I didn't feel anchored at all. Like I kind of just felt like a paper bag in the wind. So I guess kind of like the overall theme for June for me, like with these goals, is to kind of just like pull my life back together. I feel like while I was at school, like January, February, March, honestly, those 3 months, like I felt so good. I had such a good routine going. Like I was really good about doing my workouts. I was really good about like eating well and keeping my life like in order. And then the last like April and May 2 months, I really just kind of like fell off that train. So I want to get back on that train with June, and I think these 8 goals are really going to help with that. So I'm going to keep the same 3 goals that I had in May to start with, which would be to apply to at least 5 jobs, to contribute $300 to my retirement account, and to read 3 books. I feel like those are pretty good like standard goals for each month. I would like to eventually get rid of the applying for jobs goal because hopefully I will have a job by the end of the summer, but we're keeping it on there for now because as of right now, I am still applying to jobs and still looking for a job. The next 2 kind of like go together. I want to do laundry at least once a week. I want to like pick a day of the week, probably I don't know. I feel like Tuesdays, I always go for Tuesday as kind of my like reset day for some reason. Maybe it'll be Monday, but like one day a week where I just do laundry. Because as we saw at the beginning of this vlog, I let my laundry go way too long every single time. And then I have so much to do and I end up doing like 3 or 4 loads in one day. So if I can just do it once a week, that's what I'm going for. And then in the same vein, I want to put my clothes away as soon as I take them off. Like either put them in the laundry basket if they need to be washed, or if they don't need to be washed, put them right back in my closet or right back in the drawer. I have such a bad habit of just like taking my clothes off like at the end of the day and dropping them right on the floor where they land. And then my room gets into a state like it was at the beginning of this video. So this month, while I'm home, while I have lots of time, while I'm here in this room, I want to really break that habit, especially before I go move into a new place at the end of the summer. Totally forgot to mention this, but I also want to do daily Pilates or like Pilates like 5 days a week during June. I really want to get back into working out. And then my final 2 goals also kind of go together. They are both for my job. So I've kind of mentioned a couple times in this video, like I'm looking for a full-time like corporate job, but I do social media full-time this summer. I'm going to be doing my YouTube channel full-time, and then I also want to be more active on Instagram and TikTok. So because YouTube will be my full-time job this summer, I want to go back up to 2 uploads a week, and I will be uploading on Tuesdays and Fridays. That is kind of what I figured like will work best for me. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe and turn on your post notifications if they're not on, because I will be changing my upload time. I used to upload on Sundays, but I've kind of figured, you know, you guys have probably realized the last couple of weeks like I've uploaded on Tuesdays anyway, and that's because like I won't have time over the weekend to edit my video and post it by Sunday, because the weekend is the only time I have to spend with my whole family. So we're changing the upload schedule to Tuesdays and Fridays. Super exciting, going up to 2 uploads a week. And I also want to post more like vlog style content over on Instagram and TikTok. I'd like to post like 2 of those mini vlogs or like reset vlogs, just like day in my life or like a reset or a morning routine, like that kind of TikTok, that kind of Instagram reel. I'd like to post those 2 times a week. That's what I'm starting with. I think eventually I'll go up to maybe 3 or something, or, you know, who knows, maybe daily. I really don't know, but I want to start small so I can be more likely to succeed. And then once I start getting in the habit of it, then I can increase later. So those are all of my goals for June. Again, few more than I set for May, but I'm also really excited to kind of step back into my routine in my life for June. I feel like I mentioned, May was just like kind of an off month for me, so I'm really excited to like get back into having some sort of routine, and I feel like these goals will help. But now we're done with goals, it is time to go talk about books. You guys, book club is my favorite segment of these reset vlogs. I think it's so fun. I used to do them on the floor of my apartment in Michigan, so I'm gonna have to find a fun little place in this room to do book club. So let's go find a fun little spot and talk about the books that I read in May and the books that I'm going to read in June. We are back to our floor sitting habit for book club, because it's just, I don't know, it feels so fun to sit on the floor and talk about books. It just like, it makes sense in my brain. But let's start with the books that we read in May. First up was Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. Funny story about this book. I posted about this on my Instagram stories when it happened, but if y'all remember, I pre-ordered this book on Amazon and I got it at the end of February. I brought this with me to the airport to be my like entertainment on my plane ride home back to Maine, and I left it at the airport like a dummy. So I actually had to go to the bookstore in the middle of May and buy another copy of this book, which was really upsetting, and it set me back a little bit. So I am not done reading this. I'm about halfway through it right now. Gotta say, I don't like it as much as I liked the first one. First one was Things We Never Got Over. Honestly, so good. Like one of my favorite books that I've read, and that was the reason that I was so excited about this book. But no spoilers. If you guys are new here, I never do spoilers in my book club, so rest assured. But this book like pretty much hinges on my least favorite plot point from the first book. Like it takes the part that I liked the least from the first book and made it the entire plot of this book, which is unfortunate for me, because I'm really just not that interested. So like I said, I'm not completely done with this book yet, so it might get better towards the end, you never know, but that's just kind of how I'm feeling right now. Okay, my second May book was The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. This book was actually totally random. I wasn't planning on reading this in May, but a couple of different people had said that this book was really good and it had gotten good reviews on Goodreads, and when I went to buy my second copy of this book, I saw this one near me and I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to read this, so I just picked it up and I started reading it in May. Gang, I really strongly dislike the writing style of this book. The actual plot is fine. That's not my issue. It is like physically the words on the page and the way that they're written. Like it just makes me, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's actually making it like really hard to read. I just have been lucky, I guess. Like a lot of the books that I've read in the past, kind of like it's written kind of similarly to the way my brain works. But this book, completely no. Like I cannot lose myself in this book. I am like actively paying attention to every word because it just doesn't flow in my brain. We will see if I finish this. I right now am not super inclined to actually finish this book. So if you've read this, please don't spoil it, but like let me know if you ended up liking it or not if you've read it, because I'm very curious. Okay, and then finally for May, we have The Mostly True Story of Tanner and Louise. This is by Colleen Oakley. This was on my TBR that I set in my May reset vlog. I just borrowed this from the public library in my town, so I'm also not done with this book. I know that's gonna stress some people out. It stresses Caroline out that I read multiple books at once, but it just doesn't bother me. I don't know, all of the plots are so different. I don't really like get them mixed up in my head. So unfortunately, I don't have like final updates on any of these books for you guys because I'm still in the middle of all of them. But I will update you guys over on my Instagram in real time as I finish these books, hopefully. I want to be better about reading in June. I didn't like specifically list that as one of my goals other than like read 3 books, but I really do want to be better about reading. And speaking of books to read in June, first things first, we have Misfit by Elle Kennedy. This is the first book in a series, actually. I'm pretty sure the sequel to this book just came out or came out like somewhat recently because I've been seeing the sequel, which I think is Rogue, a lot, and I was like, oh, that looks good. And then I realized that that's a sequel to this book and I felt like I had to read the first one first, whatever. So I picked this up at the bookstore at the same time that I got this book and this book. You guys know me, I cannot go into a bookstore and just get one thing. So I got this one. It seems kind of intriguing and interesting. It's like prep school sort of mystery, kind of romance sort of vibe. Last summer, I read Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy and loved it. So I know that I like Elle Kennedy's writing style. I know that I like her as an author. I'm really excited to read this one and see if it measures up to my previous Elle Kennedy book that I read. Okay, and then secondly, we have Verity by Colleen Hoover. People have been telling me to read this book for ages. I don't even know, probably over a year at this point. I've read one Colleen Hoover book. I've read November 9. I didn't love it. I really actually didn't even like it that much. But everybody says that Verity and, oh my God, what is the other one? It Ends With Us are Colleen Hoover's best books, and that I should be more open-minded and give her another chance. So I will be giving Miss Colleen another chance with Verity in June. I'm gonna try to go in with an open mind because 3 people that I'm very close to, 4 people actually in my life that I'm very close to have read this book and really liked it. So I will give it a chance. I will try my best. And then for my third book for June, I actually don't have anything in mind. I feel like because I didn't finish any of the books that I wanted to for May, I'm still like working towards those. And I already have 2 on my list for June. I don't want to like bite off more than I can chew. You guys have been giving me some great suggestions in my comments on my May reset video. So I'm definitely taking those into consideration. But if you guys have any other suggestions that you think I should read for June, let me know. You can DM me on Instagram or let me know in the comments of this video. I'm definitely going for something like beachy, lighthearted, not too heavy, not too sad. But if you guys have been watching for a while, you know the kind of vibe of the books that I like to read. So if you think you have a book that I would enjoy, let me know. I'm always down to book club. But otherwise, that is it for our little book club segment of the June reset vlog. Now we're gonna head back over to my desk and we are going to do the bullet journal segment of the video. I actually didn't do a bullet journal segment of my May reset, so I am really excited to do a little bullet journaling and get back into that kind of like getting back into the routine like I mentioned earlier. So let's head back to my desk. We are back at the desk. Now it is time to work in my bullet journal. I actually didn't even end up doing a spread for May. So if you guys remember, if you saw that video, I was super behind on my bullet journaling. It was harder at school because I like to print out pictures for my bullet journal and I didn't have a printer in my building that worked. We had printers, but like none of them worked. They were like really low quality, which was upsetting because I paid considerable rent It's fine. So anyway, it was a big thing to go try to print something, especially in color at school, and I had just completely forgotten to print out the pictures I needed for my May bullet journal by the time I filmed my May reset vlog, so I just never ended up doing one, and it made me sad. I was like, oh, I wanted to bullet journal like a lot this year. So I'm going to print out my May pictures in addition to my June pictures, and I'm going to do both my May spread and my June spread at the same time, and it'll just be a secret between the two of us, and I'm sure by the end of the year, I won't even remember that I didn't do my May one on time, even though it's now completely documented for everyone and anyone to see. Shh, don't tell anyone, okay? I'm trusting you. We'll just like backfill all of May, and then I'll dedicate myself to being more present and journaling more during June. I'm gonna use the same pictures that I got from Pinterest earlier, those same ones that I used in my Notion. I'm gonna print them out and get ready to set up my May and my June bullet journal spreads. Show you guys what it looks like. This is my little May spread. Obviously this is not May anymore. This is the backtrack one that I did. But I just did my little calendar and some little like pink flower doodles, and then just these fun little like May pictures that I had on my Notion for May. And I also drew some little like pink drinks getting cheersed, and then some more little flowers down here. And then because May's already over, I didn't do any of my like habit trackers or anything because I don't remember. So I figured it's just easier not to do it. So I just left a couple of pages blank in May to do my book reviews. And then we get into June, which is obviously this month, so this one will be up to date. And this one I think is so cute. I did more pictures than usual over on my little like collage page, like the intro page. But I actually love it. I think it turned out really cute. And then over here, obviously I have my calendar. I have some hanging, like this is supposed to be like eucalyptus or like sage or something, but it's just like hanging from the top of the page. And then this little, like, it was supposed to be blue flowers, but it also kind of looks like blueberries, so take that how you want. And then if we flip the page, we get into my habit tracker and my daily highlight. So habit trackers, I have 9 habits that I track. Sometimes, occasionally I track these. I try my best to track them, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. And then down here I have my June obsessions. So these are things that I'm like interested in during the month, or like that I'm really obsessed with, obviously. Like if there's a show or something that I just can't stop watching, I'll list it here. And then over here we have my daily highlight, where every day I just write something that I'm like grateful for, or like a best memory from the day, or something that I was really happy that happened. That just goes in here, and it's supposed to help me practice like gratitude and like taking every day as it comes and like finding the good in every day, even in bad days. But that is the little bullet journal finally updated. All right, gang, now that the bullet journal is done, my Notion is updated, my room is clean, we talked about my books, we have fully reset for the month. That is going to be it for this June reset vlog. I am really excited for June. I hope you guys are as well. We are gonna have so much fun summer content coming very soon, starting in June. I'm so excited. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it for me down below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We are so close to hitting 25,000 subscribers, so if you guys want to join the family, I would love to have you come along for that ride. But that is gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.